Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapper Chronicles. We're coming back at you with another Ratchet video. This time I wanted to maybe try something or do something a little bit different. A lot of times most times when you see me take apart these ratchets, I usually went through them already and cleaned them out and got all the dirt and oil and everything out of them, so as to make it more simple and more clear what's going on inside without all the dirt and grease and oil and whatever being in the way. But here is a ratchet that I recently picked up, and pretty much this is how I picked it up. And this ratchet, it's a snap-on. The model on this is FV711. But before we jump into it, if you find these videos at all helpful or entertaining, could you please give me a like? Excuse me. And also subscribe to this channel. And another thing, if you are looking for any particular ratchets, I have a pretty long list of ratchets and videos that I've been doing the last, say maybe almost 2 years, a little less than 2 years. So go to my playlist in my channel, go to my playlist, and there everything is in order by manufacturer and or company. And if you're interested in any particular ratchet, it would be a lot easier for you to find it there than to go just down the list of all my videos. That would probably be harder to find what you're looking for. So just check out my playlist. Okay, this is a snap-on. It doesn't have a date code on it, unfortunately. So I have no idea when this was made. I can tell you it isn't recent. We look at the lettering here. This looks like old snap-on lettering. FV711 USA, and that's about it. No codes or anything. But we could tell is that this tool was kind of neglected, not well loved. You can see this is kind of something you would find laying in a box for years and years. Hasn't been really taken care of. There's a lot of rubbing. There's a lot of chrome that has come off of this particular ratchet here. It's chrome or pitting, and you can see the rubbing here on the side, which is very common on ratchets. And you can see some of the chrome there. Also very full of dirt and grime and caked on grease, dirt, etc. Here's the handle. Kind of a very not so great looking, if you can say that, snap-on. I usually associate these just continuous handle ratchets like this for cheap ratchets, as something cheap and doesn't look good. I don't particularly like when they have a ratchet and you make the handle or the beam and then you just make it all one size without a flare over here on the handle. And unfortunately also they put some knurling here, which isn't the greatest knurling. It's just kind of whatever knurling. Doesn't seem that great. It looks pretty flat. And like I said, there isn't much of a bump here or a thickness in the handle to really to differentiate the handle at all. Just some knurling there, and that's it. Over here, surprisingly, this isn't flopping over, which I would expect in an older Ratchet without the indents or the ball and spring in there. Usually Ratchets this old will be flopping over, and I suspect when I clean this out it will probably be a little bit more floppy than it is right now. But usually when I get these, the screws here are full of the screw slots. This has 2 flathead screws, small, and usually these are caked with dirt. So if you want to take one of these apart, I would suggest getting into these slots with a pretty sharp pick and just get all this dirt out before you start unscrewing, or you might slip and make the slots look crappy. And over here also, above the switch, in between the switch and the body, it's a let me it's full of crap, just dirt and grease in the slot here. Over here, it's another spot full of dirt, and this is just going to come out in chunks. And on the side again, another another chunk of hardened dirt. Try to get some of this out. And these usually have, or the older ones usually have a anvil that has a hole in it on one end and the ball detent on the opposite end. And of course this hole is just full of crap, and I probably pushed it in, and I'll put some solvent or WD-40 in there later on and clean it out better. But it's just, you can see it's pretty much caked with grease, dirt, what have you. Okay, let's look at what's going on inside of this Ratchet. It's a small slotted screwdriver. And it fits perfect. If you clean out those slots good, it usually comes the screws come out pretty good. If not, you could put some DW40 in the slot and around, and again on this side put a little DW40 on the opposite end of the screw here. But this one didn't come out too bad. You can see the dirt and grease, grime, everything. This is, I'm trying to show you the ugly side of Ratchet collecting. And this is how a lot of them you find. The screw is pretty dirty. This is how, on most cases, when you go anywhere, pretty much, eBay, whatever, estate sales, garage sales, you're gonna find ratchets that you might like, that are pretty decent companies and pretty decent ratchets, but they're just in bad shape, haven't been used or serviced in decades, and it's gonna show. But if you like taking care of tools and cleaning them up, yeah, this will be kind of relaxing hobby. You can clean them up and do whatever. This one has kind of a tight plate, so I'm just gonna take a little hammer and this one's pretty tight. See, it's starting to come out, but this side is pretty wedged. Hit it with the ball. Maybe I can kind of go around the edge a little bit. There we go. Here's the plate. And Snap-on, they always have a pretty decent thickness in their plates. And this is what the inside looks like. Yeah, not so great. But at least there's some moisture in there, or some grease. So, that's not too bad. Keeps it from rusting up or pitting too much. So someone did put some lubricant in there. Here's the anvil. Here's the gear. And what you're gonna see is on the teeth, some of the teeth are sharp. Some of the teeth are sharp, and then some of them you can see, like this one has a flatter tooth, and that's a sign of some sort of over torquing or abuse. This one's pretty thin, sharp. That one's pretty sharp. But a few of them, like that one, is pretty flat. Not too bad to where the teeth, some teeth like get all the way flat and almost are missing, and that's how a lot of these ratchets start skipping. But let's keep looking, and you can see it's pretty coarse, this ratchet. I don't know, maybe 25, 24 teeth or something. Doesn't look like many. And here's the pawl. The pawl only has one tooth per side. You can see there. I'm not gonna, these are old Snap-on. You have to get a punch and then punch it out, punch out this switch. And the way it stays in there, it's peened over right here. It's kind of a soft metal, these switches, and they put them through the pawl and they peen them over right here. But I'm not gonna go through all that. I'm just gonna show you what I can see right here. And usually when you see those gears with flats on the teeth, the problem is when you open this up, you're gonna start seeing stuff like this. you're going to start seeing the tops of the teeth. And here's one of them. That's one of the teeth, the tips of one of the teeth that was sheared off from over torquing. And do I see any other ones in here? Right off the top of my head, I don't see any others. Wait a minute. Here's like a piece of a little piece of one. See it there at the tip. A shaving from I'm assuming one of the teeth also. And some really kind of not so great looking grease and dirt and metal shavings in there. See some of the chrome is flaking also, worn off. Over here, well, not too bad. I guess that's just some. Let me grab it. And you can see, not that bad. Not that bad. Could be worse. Down here. Yeah, just a lot of dirt and grease in there. Just needs a good cleaning out. Overall, just needs all over needs a good cleaning. See all the edges there full of dirt. And this is just a regular batwing style pawl. Has this ball underneath with a spring that goes underneath here. Don't know how rare this is. Don't see many flex handles, snap-ons from this period or from older periods. So seemed like a good ratchet to have. But like I said, you gotta take the good with the bad. You're gonna find, when you start, if you're collecting ratchets, interested in ratchets, and you like older stuff, you're gonna find a lot of stuff like this when you start snooping around and trying to find stuff. A lot of bad ratchets in bad condition. Mostly a lot of them you clean them up and they should be fine. Most times when it's bad is when you get gears that are missing teeth altogether, have broken, like obviously missing big chunks out of a tooth or whatever. Then it's like but yeah, this is what I go through. you guys probably see a lot of videos where I just open them up, I show you what's inside, I take whatever mechanisms apart, and everything is usually, might look old, but it'll be clean, no grease, no oil, and stuff. But this is how I get them. This is what goes on behind the scenes. Alright guys, until next time.